This is Trend Following Radio, where great thinking comes alive. Nobel Prize winners, legendary traders, best-selling authors, and the pros that know what drive us irrational human beings. I am your host, Michael Covel. Not filtered, raw, honest. That's my passion. One of my favorite guests, and this is not a surprise for you out there that listen regularly, is Ed Seykota. He's appeared twice on this podcast. I highly recommend you listen to both episodes, especially the second one. To paraphrase Ed, and first heard in Jack Schwager's original Market Wizards book, but Ed has this expression, and I might be saying it a little bit wrong, but it's something to the effect of everybody gets what they want, win or lose. And he was talking about the markets. And what he meant was, if you're a constant loser in the markets, you actually want that. Because you are not going out and finding the wisdom of those that are successful. So if you keep losing and your strategy sucks and you don't seek out the wisdom of those that came before you, you want to keep losing. You're kind of a masochist. On the inverse, if you are an ongoing winner, perhaps you've figured something out. You want to win. You've put the time and effort in to becoming that winner, the education to become that winner. So I give Mr. Seykota credit, kind of like the Zen master up on the hill, Yoda, so to speak. A lot is embedded in that statement of his. Now, today I want to share some examples of Ed's wisdom. Now, the first is an audio clip. It's an audio clip of the CEO of the CME Group. This is the formerly Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the Chicago Board of Trade, all rolled into one, now called the CME Group. Futures Exchange. Massive trading done there. Just terribly important for traders, hedgers around the world. They're legit. They've been at this for a long time. They understand risk. They're an exchange that allows buyers and sellers to come together to find a price. They're very good at it. They've been around for a long time. So let me let you listen to this clip really quick. It's just a few minutes from Terry Duffy of the CME Group.
I had a meeting with Sam Bankman-Fried for the first time in March this past year. I never met the man. He asked to meet with me at a conference. And I sat down with him. I said, what is your end goal? He says, well, I want to compete with you. I said, great. I'm all for competition. What do you want to do? He says, well, I want to compete with you in crypto. I said, why would you do that? I said, I'll give you one better. How about if I give you my crypto franchise that's worth $30 million and we'll go from there? He says, well, what do you want? I said, you know what I want. Let me be your risk manager. I'll clear it to make sure it's done properly. He says, well, you won't deploy my model. I said, your model is crap. Why would I deploy a model that's going to introduce risk to the system? Of course I'm not going to deploy your model. He turned me down, flat out turned me down. And that's right away I said to him, I said, you know what, you're a fraud. You're an absolute fraud. You're supposedly worth $26 billion and you're an altruist. And I said, if you're an altruist at $26 billion, how come there's not a $10 billion donation going to somebody right this moment in time? How about a $15 billion donation? I said, you know what? I said, my net worth doesn't start with any B's. I'll give you 3-to-1 that I have more money than you. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 4-to-1. I got more money in my right pocket than your net worth. I said, you're a fraud, and I'm going to make sure that we get this out there. And that was it. So we went to Congress. I testified, and I've been to Congress 25 years. I've never seen a Washington, D.C. like I saw that time, from the regulators to the members of Congress, singing hymns that I never heard before. And I got berated in a congressional hearing, but I would not back off. I said that you could lose 85 to 90% of your value overnight. And I said, he will not commit to keeping this just to crypto. I said, the reason is because he wants to deploy it across all asset classes. I said, that is a biblical disaster if you people allow this to happen. Well, I didn't know how right I was going to be in a short period of time because he lost 85% of his FTT tokens in literally one day. So the point being is, we went through this whole thing, and then I worked back with the agency, and I said, they wanted to approve it for just crypto. I said, well, that would be lovely, except that would be an arbitrary decision to approve a regulatory change for one asset class. And they argued with me, said, no, it's not. We have the ability to do it. I said, well, we're going to have an argument here because I will sue. And so we'll sue the agency over this because we think it's wrong. And I met with every agricultural producer in this country, and I explained to them exactly if their asset class went under this type of model, what could happen to their hedges at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night when they're unbeknownst to what's going on, when they're being auto-liquidated and they think their crops are hedged. I said, this is the most detrimental thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So I'm upset by this, but I'm a measured upset. Mm-hmm. I'm a very measured upset because nobody else was calling BS on these clowns but me. My friends at the Intercontinental Exchange are the only other exchange that said, we do not like this as well. Everybody else wanted to talk about the innovation.
Staying with my theme of everybody gets what they want, beyond that being a terribly interesting clip behind the scenes, where one of the most established exchanges in the world has already figured out that SPF is a fraud many months ago, and no one would listen. That's terribly interesting by itself. But let's talk about Terry Duffy's motivation. Because at that moment in time, he knows, well, he thinks, well, it's a possibility that Bankman really is a threat to the CME. And he sees that Bankman has, quote, regulatory capture. He's captured Congress. He's throwing money around. He's getting attention. He's getting what he wants. Now, Duffy, in this case, he gets what he wants too. Duffy decides, even if Bankman is real, even if he's huge, I can't do this. I'd rather go down in a reputable way, in a way that we know is real, than to trust this greasy kid with man tits. Now, Duffy didn't say that. I'm adding the part about the man tits. But Duffy got what he wanted. He did not want to be in bed with Bankman. Now, in that meeting, too, Bankman got what he wanted as well, because Bankman knew that if he exposed himself to the minds inside the CME, the minds that understand exchanges, Bankman knew his fucking gig was over. He knew it was over. So Bankman got what he wanted, too. What did Bankman want? Time. More time. So it was easy. Walk away from Terry Duffy and the CME. Now, sticking with this theme, everybody gets what they want. What did Congress want? Money. Free money. Why do they want this money? Because what do they want? They want to stay in Congress. They want to sit in that seat. They get off on the power. It's not really about doing something good for society. Give me a break. Anybody that knows anything about Congress, anybody that's ever spent any time around these people know they're not our best and brightest. They're not there because of altruism. They're there because they get their rocks off on sitting in the power seat. So you see, everybody gets what they want is a terribly powerful expression, a terribly powerful sentiment. And I have to apply it to myself. Like right now, I'm getting what I want. I truly enjoy doing this podcast. I enjoy my life. I enjoy my life most of the time outside of America. It's interesting. It's different. It's a curiosity explosion, shall I say. And I like that. That's where I get what I want. Sticking with this theme of everybody gets what they want, I want to share a couple pieces of email that have come into me. I think they help to illustrate trading confusion plus examples of everyone getting what they want. One gentleman writes me, a guy named Steve, he says, I wish it were only one challenge on trading that I have, but if I had to pick one, it would be learning how to sort through all the noise and find reliable information. Now you see, Steve's got a long way to go to sort through the noise. Well, the noise is everywhere. The noise has always been everywhere. To find reliable information. What is reliable information? Is he talking about multiple sets of reliable information? He's not sure yet. Now, I give him credit. He's going down the path. He's not yet come to his come to Jesus moment where he understands that something like price, following price alone, the trend following way, the kind of Ed Seykota, everybody gets what they want way. He's not yet come to the realization that price cuts through the noise. He's not yet come to the realization that price is the only reliable information. I hope he does. But sometimes there's a gap between an individual, and I can see this with some experience on my side. There's a gap between an individual who says what they think they're looking for and where they want to go, and not knowing all the possibilities, not knowing where they are in the matrix. You've got to know where you are in the matrix to take a step, to take a move that benefits you. If you're sitting in the matrix, kind of like Steve is here, and he's dreaming about cutting through the noise, this subjective, amorphous, who the hell knows what that means exactly, and to find reliable information. And the implication there is there's all kinds of pieces of reliable information out there, when in actuality, there's very few pieces of reliable information. Steve will be like all of us. He will be getting what he wants. Right now, what he wants is to be asking questions about topics where he hasn't done the homework yet. Now, it's fair enough. Look, I appreciate it. I appreciate that he reaches out to me and I can put him in a direction. Now it's up to him. Will he take that information? Will he go down the rabbit hole? Now, I had another gentleman write me the other day, and he said he was having challenges with his trading strategy. I said, well, what is that strategy? He said, swing trading and GAN trading. And I said, well, I've never really seen professional track records that exist for these strategies. I said, GAN is a known fraud. And again, on swing trading, where are all these professional track records? And you could see the cognitive dissonance, even though this was just an email, you could see the cognitive dissonance unfolding. He said to me, I've got a lot of work to do. He came back to me for a couple other questions, but I could see in his life scenario and the way he outlined it, and what he did outline was that he had spent a lot of money on these types of techniques. He had lost a lot of money, and then he was going to lose up to a certain amount more, I think 50% down, before he would stop these two strategies. What a great example of everybody getting what they want. He's in bad strategies. He can't verify these strategies. There's no proof that they work. He's almost lost 50% of his capital, but he has set an imaginary goal in his mind to lose 50% of his capital before he stops both strategies. I mean, this is just classic sunk cost stuff. I mean, if you pay for something and it doesn't work, it's paid for. You don't get the money back. Cut your losses. But he wants the drama. He wants to prove to himself he can lose money in bad strategies. I'm not really sure what he's trying to prove, but he is trying to prove something to himself, that he can lose money in bad strategies and lose 50% of his capital, and then he will make a change. What is he trying to get? This is right back to the root of Seykota's little parable. He wants to lose. He wants to lose. He essentially told me he wants to lose. I have these strategies. They're losing. I'm going to wait till I lose to a certain point and I'll get out. So he wants to lose. It's fascinating that Ed Seykota could take such a simple sentence and inside it embed all of this. I get what I want. Mike Covel, I get what I want. Everyone can see what I do. Obviously, I like doing it. Terry Duffy got what he wanted at the CME. He said, I don't want to be a part of Bankman. Bankman got what he wanted. He got to buy time. Another email that came into me. He says, my biggest challenge is extreme market volatility, which means setups go haywire and you have no clue how long the market is going to be against you. So in utter despair, you exit with a loss every time. These keep adding up. So with good money management, the losses are small, but you don't make money. Now, what does he want? He wants to be confused. He wants to be confused. He's getting what he wants. What he wants is confusion. If he didn't want confusion, he would take what he wrote me, break it apart into finite bytes, almost like a logical computer program, and realize that what he has written makes no sense. My challenge is extreme market volatility. Well, why is it just extreme market volatility is your problem? What if there is very little market volatility? Volatility is just an issue to deal with. So you see, you can immediately break this down into its component parts, but this guy doesn't want to do this because so many people want to make this scenario, this fantasy around whatever it is they were in the middle of, and they don't want to get to the truth. This guy that just wrote me, he doesn't want the truth. He wants me to tell him, you're right. Volatility can never be understood. There's no way to trade through volatility. You're so right. He wants a hug or something, right? Another guy writes me, he says, the biggest challenge that I have faced with my trading is wanting to be right and expecting perfection. Now just imagine what his life is like. If he wants to be right and he expects perfection, do you think that only carries into his trading? No. What he wants, and he gets what he wants, is the dream of perfection, the fantasy that he's going to be right, and it never happens. So he wants a drama. He wants to feel like he can be perfect. He wants to feel like he can be right in his trading and his life, and never is, but he gets drama. The drama makes him feel good. And you can write out these expressive states of being and how you are today. And hopefully someone will listen. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy that he shared with me. And I set him right. I kicked him in the ass. But how does everyone get to this point to begin with? Have we become a world of narcissists? Oh my gosh, I'm answering my question. As I say it, of course we're a world of narcissists. Everybody's taking a selfie like that's important. You can't have a situation where the entire world has got a camera, is taking pictures nonstop, posting pictures nonstop. Well, everyone is getting what they want. Again, what do they want? They want the feeling of fame. But do they really know what the feeling of fame is? No, they think they know. And if they post a picture and they get a bunch of likes, they are doing what they want. They are getting what they want. What are they getting? Kind of a shallow dopamine high. Because if you can't break out of that, I mean, maybe you're one of the lucky people and you get tens of millions, if not billions of views, and you make a lot of money from being a narcissist. One of the most famous women in the world, now a billionaire, lest we all forget, got her start with a sex tape that she probably released. Now, you might not have expected in the course of this podcast that I would be able to connect, and I think I did, the idea that Sakota so brilliantly laid out. And even right now, if you look at something like the crypto world and all of the shit coins, I know plenty of guys who got in early. They were of the age to believe in crypto, got in early, 2012, 2013, 2014, made some money with Bitcoin, quote, diversified into shit coins, ran it up over 7 figures, and guess what? Many of them have crashed back to zero. Because you see, when you're offered a lottery, when you're offered a gift, take the luck, but it's not skill. But anybody who got in and got lucky and rode up a big trend in Bitcoin and stayed for the full round turn, they got what they wanted. They didn't have a strategy. They didn't have a plan. And they got what they wanted. Perhaps what they want is to be able to tell friends and family, I got in early, I made millions, and I lost it all. That's what they want. The markets in life are quite funny. It's best to be transparent with ourselves and others. Show the motivations. Be open. Yeah, I'm a capitalist. I like making money. It's fun. It's a way to keep score. It's not the only thing. But let's face it, having a little extra money in your pocket sure makes the daily grind, the daily life easier. So yeah, I will fully agree with those people that say, money doesn't mean happiness. Of course it doesn't. but money gives you more opportunity to find happiness. And I think that's what's so great about everybody gets what they want in the markets, or to add, everybody gets what they want in life. Because if you want to be happy, you're going to be happy. If you're sad, you want to be sad. Take that in again. If you're happy, you want to be happy. If you're sad, you want to be sad. It's that simple. But simple can be complicated. Simple can take a lifetime to learn. So get started, dig in, and look at your own life. Are you winning? You want it. Are you losing? You want it. That's the way it works. There's no way around it. There's no excuses. It's all on you. Personal responsibility is the only choice. I see a time when those awake will understand how to make money in up, down, and surprise markets. Whether new trader or experienced, college student or financial advisor, protecting against a crash or just trying to make a lot of money, trend following offers everyone an answer in uncertain times. To get started immediately, send me an email, michael@covel.com. I will send you the right trend following steps to take along with my free video. But if you want to buy and hold, trust the government and trust Wall Street, this is absolutely not for you.